Welcome to Familypreneur, the podcast for parent entrepreneurs
raising kidpreneurs.
It's time for your weekly dose of inspiration and actionable tips to build your business and find better balance, all while strengthening your family. And now we'd like to introduce your host.
She's my mom and thebomb.com,
Meg Brunson.
Hey there, thanks for joining me on another episode of the Familypreneur podcast. Today's guest is a content strategist and consultant for business owners who want to gain visibility for their businesses with personalized content strategies and implementation. She hosts a growing membership program to help business owners DIY their content marketing and is the host of the Stories in Small Business podcast. I'm excited today to introduce you to Abby Herman. Abby, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited. I'm excited for the summit. I'm excited to be collaborating with you on a project finally. I don't know how long ago it was that we connected, but I'm glad that we have this opportunity to work together now.
Yeah, me too.
So
I think it's been like 3 years.
I was in Arizona and we've been on the road for almost a year and a half now, which is crazy, but so it's been a while. Your presentation is focused on content marketing and delivering what our audience wants and needs to hear from us. I'd love to kind of hear the story about how you came to fall in love with and become an expert in content creation.
So it started in around 2007 when I was a full-time teacher and looking to find ways to make a little bit of extra money on the side of my low-paying teaching job. And and I started creating content for a company that worked specifically with schools and small businesses. And I kind of learned the ropes there, learned how to write copy. So I did a lot of copywriting back then. So copy for websites and things like that. And then I transitioned into more content, which is the marketing piece. And I just loved, I love writing, always have, and just through learning more about how we can market our businesses and promote our businesses online, the more I fell in love with all of the different forms of content, because I think when a lot of people think of content, they think of blogs. And I think that's where a lot of people get really hung up with, well, I don't like to write, so I'm not going to create content. Well, content is so much more than blog posts. Blog posts, I think, are important and can be an important part of your content strategy, but you can videos, live videos, produced videos, podcasts, courses, freebies, emails, all of that, even speaking, all of those are different types of content that could be a part of your overall content strategy, depending on what your goals are and where you want to go.
Exactly. And I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head there, that you can produce content whichever way you're most comfortable. So even though a lot of people, and I tend to agree with them, think that video is kind of where you need to be, if you're not comfortable with that, you can start somewhere else and you're going to be totally fine. Yeah. Now, I'd love for you to just give us a rundown on what attendees will be able to expect and learn from attending your session.
So I'm going to piggyback on what you just said to answer that question. So You said that you should start creating content where you're most comfortable, which I think is true. Like, you have to be comfortable creating the content. However, you also want to pay attention to what your audience is listening to, is watching, is reading, and all of that. And so my presentation focuses on how to figure out exactly what that is. What does your audience need and want from you? Where do they want it? And so I'm talking all about surveying your audience, how to go about doing that, and how to do it the right way to actually get the responses that you need and want from the right people, like not from your entire list, from the right people. So that's what we're focusing on in my presentation.
Not from your Aunt Linda.
Nope. Nope, not from your parents. I made a joke on a podcast episode a while back or something where my dad commented that I don't understand like why you're selling this way and why you're putting something out this way. And because he's on my email list and, he tell me about why you're doing this. And I'm like, well, you're not my ideal audience member. You're not buying from me. Leave me alone. So yeah, another reason why you don't survey your entire list.
Stop, Dad.
Yes.
So at the Organic Marketing Summit, we're very focused on developing a marketing plan. Can you share your experiences with why having a plan is essential for business success?
For sure. So if you have ever been in a spot where you know you need to put something out there, you haven't published a blog post in a while, or your schedule says that you need to have a podcast episode come out in 3 days and you haven't even thought about what the topic is going to be, you know what it feels like to sit down in front of a blank screen and think, oh my God, what am I supposed to create? And I've totally been there myself, totally been there. But you need to have a plan so that you know exactly how to get your audience onto the path that you want them on to make a good purchasing decision from you down the road. So I always recommend planning about 3 months in advance. So you know what it is you're launching, because I'm sure that, Meg, you probably didn't sit down like 3 weeks ago and decide, I'm going to do a summit and I'm just going to launch it and it's all going to sell and it's going to do great and I'm going to get, people registered. You can't, that doesn't work that way. So, especially when you don't have, 10, 15,000 followers, it doesn't work. So you have to plan in advance and decide, okay, this is the end goal of where I want people to be. And then these are all of the things that need to happen working up to that. So I like to, plan for this date and then work backwards on the content that needs to be created to lead people to this thing. So it makes your own content creation so much easier. You're not as stressed out about, having to get the thing done. If you have a team, they like you a lot more when you're planned ahead of time. So, a couple weeks ago, I did not have a podcast ready for my assistant to get loaded and stuff. And so I got to do it myself over the weekend because I'm not going to expect her to do it. So I was mad at myself, in that case, because I wasn't planned ahead. But yeah, it's all about the stress level and just being able to create and deliver exactly what your audience wants and needs. It's so much easier when you have a plan of action going into it.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than staring at a blank screen or, opening your mic and setting it up and just it's recording and you're like, I got nothing. It's so much easier when somebody, I always say somebody in air quotes, gives you exactly what to say. And your presentation kind of feeds right into that because this is a way to source from a pool of somebody's exactly what they want and need to hear. And then you can just plop it into your calendar and you'll always have that guidance.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, you have so much more value that you are contributing at the summit. And over the course of 1 week from November 9th through the 13th, attendees of the Organic Marketing Summit are building their 2021 marketing plans together alongside over 20 industry-leading experts, including Abby, who are invested in your success. Tickets are completely free, so head over to organicmarketingsummit.com and reserve your free ticket right now. Before you forget, before your child needs the 20th snack of the day, go grab that ticket now. Abby and I both look forward to seeing you there. Bye for now. Head over to organicmarketingsummit.com and grab your free ticket to the Organic Marketing Summit today. It's happening November 9th through 13th, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Bye for now.
Do us a favor. Share this podcast to a friend. It's like my mom always says, sharing is caring.